I will never attend an anti-war rally. If you have a peace rally, invite me, said Mother Teresa. The saint of Calcutta, with her frail appearance, understood the power in words, which emerge from our points of view and make up the reality we experience. How our individual consciousness has a direct impact on our shared destiny is what I would like to speak about today at CIFA. When I served as spokesperson for the President of the United Nations General Assembly, our main task and goal was to set the stage for the 2030 Development Agenda. What I would like to do today is set the stage for the tone and the spirit of our discussions. Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General, distinguished CIFA participants, excellencies, I think if you're here, and of course, my dear friends. I'm not here to offer any new thought leader concept. I recognize and fully respect the level of experience and intelligence that fills this room. However, before we begin our important discussions, it's my intention that we come together and enter more closely into that sweet, sacred space that is the very light and harmony of presence. That opening that comes from a quiet stillness within. The space of such an alert and yet peaceful awareness that we all yearn for within ourselves, in our relationships, and in all that we do. This is the space where most of our effective, creative, and visionary ideas and solutions come in what seems in an instant. The Blessed Saint Teresa had a keen wisdom of scientific universal laws, yet her tender genius came from the discernment that spirituality and science were always connected. We, the people, separated them. And you will have understood through your own life experiences that the thoughts we think and the words we speak affect how we feel literally by setting off chemical reactions in our brains which affect our energy levels and our very own state of well-being. The British philosophical writer James Allen said, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." And herein lies the danger and the wonder, the rise and the fall. We can arrive and move through life consciously or unconsciously, to the biggest dreams fulfilled and also to our own destruction. If consciousness is the awareness of the mind of itself and the world, then unconsciousness is the lack of this awareness, yet our thinking persists in either state. And where our mind goes, our feelings go. And where our mind and feelings go, our actions follow. Data from quantum physicists tells us that we are consciously or unconsciously creating the reality we experience in our lives at every moment. Why is this important at our CIFA discussions? Why do we need to ponder this in our lives, in the work we seek to do, and the change we desire to see in the world? Yep, I have an Einstein quote. Where's Monsieur Pratin-Colomb? Leave it to Einstein to give us the answer. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Allow me to illustrate this point with a phenomenon we witness from governments at the United Nations. And I say this respectfully. Condemnation. When governments condemn those who perpetrate war against human beings or another government, whether it be in the form of illegal invasions, where, for example, there were no weapons of mass destruction, or condemn acts of terrorism that kill and provoke fear, or even blame established systems for the persistence of extreme poverty in a world of plenty. Even though the reasoning behind condemning has its purpose, its effects, however, were contrary to the desired intention. Because when we speak condemnation, we are using the same mindset as the very people we condemn. So long as countries continue to engage on a competitive basis for national interest and not in the cooperative synergy of shared values, the extent of any global sustainable peace effort or major steps towards shared prosperity and sustainable development will be threatened. If this example didn't hit home, we can build a similar observation within a family dynamic, a topic dear to my heart in which I spoke extensively about last year at CIFA and its relevance in economic models. Imagine a father hearing provocative words from his son to him. His son's feeling anger, rage, even hatred for his father, to the point of physically abusing his father and cursing at him. And yet here, instead of retaliating or cursing back, the father, as the parent, and with more power, demonstrates his authority by calmly observing his son, knowing that underneath the son's anger is pain. This is how consciousness responds. Whether it be pain, power, hatred, revenge, greed, dominance, or a cry out in anger for love. It is only perfect love that drives out fear, pacifies wars, heals self-sabotaging patterns, and takes us from the darkness of our unconscious reactions into the light of conscious self-determination. Because this perfect love exists inside all of us, and it lives in a redemptive and perpetual state of consciousness. For me, this is how I came to know thyself. The recipe for stagnation or even destruction is simple. Just sprinkle enough fear over a mind divided by itself. Look inside. Are you warring with yourself? Are major powers pointing major fingers? Has the health of our economy and planet been compromised? We can only stop the wars and the dysfunction in the world when we stop the wars and blocks within ourselves first. This includes dismantling beliefs and patterns that do not serve us. An African proverb helps us to understand this a little bit more. If there is no enemy within, there is no enemy outside that can harm us. Turning to the outside. Youth unemployment is 13.1% according to the UN Labor Organization, and the share of youth who are employed still live in extreme or moderate poverty despite having a job. That is 156 million young people who can barely eat or have proper shelter. And of course, this is a leading reason why many migrate. Economic reports inform that the global economy will have to create billions of jobs to accommodate a growing population, which is forecast to reach 9.7 billion by year 2050. Let's look at another critical area, technology. Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum, has stated that we are on the brink of a technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to each other. The fourth industrial revolution brings groundbreaking advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, self-automated vehicles, 3D printing, nanotechnology, biotechnology, material science, energy storage, and quantum computing. It is disrupting almost every industry in every country, he informs, and the breadth and depth of these changes herald the transformation of entire systems of production, management, and governance. And just having flown in from California, technology experts are telling us that nobody outside of Silicon Valley really knows just how fast things are going to change in this world. Another UN report on the state of the global economy released just earlier this month reveals that global growth has strengthened in line with economic forecasts, but prospects for some of the world's poorest regions deteriorate. Given this information, how will such changes impact major issues like unemployment and social inclusion? How can they restore global economic growth for everyone to experience? How can we attain the beautifully conscious goals of the United Nations to leave no one behind by ending global poverty by 2030, and help fulfill the compassionately wise call of Pope Francis for solidarity to overcome a culture of waste that has affected not only food, he warned, but people cast aside by economic systems that rely increasingly on automation? And how does this all tie in with shared destiny? And what exactly do we mean by shared destiny? I know it comes to no surprise that our lives are integrated, and decades of a shared history have and give credence to a future with a shared destiny. Presently, a large UN member state in Asia, one who holds a permanent seat at the Security Council, has taken a new resolution on shared destiny through the political channels of the Security Council. It was approved just this past April. The resolution is presently tabled at the Economic and Social Council, as you are all keenly aware, with CIFA being a visible and active participant at ECOSOC. It is integral to the universal framework process mandated on the integration of the three dimensions of sustainable development: economic, social, and environmental. The spirit of a shared destiny is not only a conscious perspective, I believe it must lie at the heart of our work. Imagine a shared destiny with the UN's universally agreed upon 17 Sustainable Development Goals attained, leaving no one behind, ensuring a sustainable economy with shared prosperity, human dignity for all to taste, feel, and touch, and the preservation of our planet. Imagine a shared destiny where people are empowered by strong leaders who are honest and speak the truth, who are innovative, who have integrity, as well as compassion to see situations and find solutions from multiple perspectives. Imagine a shared destiny built on sustainable business and economic models, built on an open and healthy competition, and embraced by a spirit of mutual cooperation. Imagine a shared destiny where condemnation, attacks, and retaliation are replaced with reconciliation, healing, and reparation. Our shared destiny is in our individual hands, and its success or failure will be determined by whether we choose to hold each other or let go. As author Marianne Williamson so eloquently puts it, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. As we let our own lights shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. We are liberated from our own fear, and our very presence automatically liberates others. Let us now take this present moment at the beginning of day 2 of this valuable think tank forum and wisely remind ourselves to make the conscious choice to be more present so that we can be more resourceful, which is the best way to work toward sustainable success. A shared destiny is rooted in the individual while impacting the communal. We have the freedom to choose responsibility for it and the level of that responsibility. And in whatever degree you choose to be responsible, choose in the direction of your soul. Because we want to live in each other's happiness, not by each other's suffering. And the only moment that has any real power is the one we are living now, and now. And as my tea bag says, and I'll close with this, life is the flow of love, and your participation is requested. Thank you very much.